Hello everyone, my name is Beatrice Suța. I'm a computer science student at Politehnica Bucharest, and today I am here virtually to present you the article CareProfSys Virtual Reality Environments for Experiential Learning. So we'll start with a quick intro to experiential learning, then we are going to take a look at some of the new technologies that are being used today. After that, we'll explore how does virtual reality environments are made, and finally we are going to try to answer the question how does VR can bridge the gap between theory and practice. So on the left side, you can see the keywords that define our article focus, and in the center, the tricky questions that both this article and our presentation want to answer. So to get started, let's talk about experiential learning. The easiest way to understand it is that it's all about learning by doing. And David Kolb, who is the American expert in this area, said that the knowledge is formed by transforming experience. Basically, his idea can be summed up in a simple model that is called experiential learning cycle and has four main stages, which in a second part are split into 8 learning styles showing different way how people learn, this being also known as Kolb experiencing learning profile. So, for example, we have the activist who likes to jump straight into new activities and learn by doing, while on the other hand, the reflectors always take a step back and think and observe before getting through action. The key idea with the Kolb theory is that everyone is learning on his own way, and this is why experiencing learning is important because it can improve your memory and boost your engagement and so on, all of that with the help of traditional methods like internship, simulation, or even practical projects. Speaking of the emerging technologies, they are the latest tool that's changing how we learn and how we work today. In education, for example, they can make the learning more interactive by adapting the students and adapting the content to each student's needs. And here on the slide, you can also see the top 5 emerging technologies that are being used in 2024. Among these new technologies, one of the most powerful for the educational area is the virtual reality or VR, which creates basically a virtual world when user can interact in an immersive way. As advantages, VR boosts engagement, increase motivation, and offer us a real and safe space to practice some skills without the risk of the real world, which is outside. Following the virtual reality, we have the augmented reality or AR, but unlikely VR, where you are fully immersed in a virtual world, AR adds some digital content to the real world, making what you see more interesting. The more and the main advantage of the augmented reality is that you can take a complex process and with the help of 3D models make it more simple to understand. And also, I'm sure that every one of you heard about Pokemon Go, which is the most famous example that I can give about augmented reality, really popular back in 2016. As emerging technologies, we also have the e-learning platforms, which are super accessible and popular in education today because they are really easy to use and affordable. And also, there's the artificial intelligence, which helps machine learn and adapt, making it great for automating the task. Going a little bit back to the virtual reality, we have the virtual reality environments, which are three-dimensional spaces, computer-generated, that creates or reality or imaginary places. To build a virtual reality environment, you're gonna need both hardware and software part. For the hardware part, we have the VR headsets like Oculus or HTC Vive and some extra tools like controllers or sensors to make and feel the experience more and more real. On the software side, we have the game engine like Unity, and all I've just counted are just a few examples as there are many others tools available because the interest in this domain has grown a lot in the recent years. And because of this rapid growth and interest, now the virtual reality is not used just in education but in many others areas. For example, in the medicine, doctor can use the virtual reality to practice some medical procedures before doing it on a real patient, or in the military training is the same idea. In the tourism, you can explore some places without actually being there, and so on. All of this theory we had about virtual reality and virtual reality environments is bringing us the big question, though, how does VR can connect the theory with the practice? And the good answer and a possible answer to this question is the CareProfSys research project, which is also the focus on the article of our article. And CareProfSys is a research initiative which is led by our university and faculty and is funded by UEFISCDI, which operates under the authority of the Ministry of Education in Romania. The problem that led us to the idea of the project is that in Romania we have one school counselor who is responsible for over 1,400 students, and this is not enough for effective guidance. In university, we face the same issue, even if we had the law in 2005, who said that each university in Romania, public or private should have a career guidance center. But again, the demand is much higher than the resources that are available. So the solutions for us is to start looking into alternative methods of counseling, like the CareProfSys project, developed in three main phases. In the first phase was all about setting the foundation of the project, so the design and the ontology. The second phase was all about the development, and in the third phase we had the implementation, the VR test with the user, the feedback, and so on. What is the main idea of the project? So imagine this, you're a young person, not really sure what you want to do with your life. So you go to the CareProfSys platform, fill out your profile with your CV and your social media links, etc. And after that, with the help of a recommendation algorithm, you're going to get a recommended career for you. What is really nice is that after you get the recommendation, you can test it. You can test your job into a VR, in a virtual reality environment, where you are going to find also some elements of gamification, like level of difficulties or achievement and so on. All of that to see if this is a really good fit for you. Through the whole process, you're going to be assisted also by a chatbot to make it more easier for you. And currently, we have 6 career scenarios, all aligned with the Romanian classification of occupation, or CORE, which is basically the Romanian system which organized all the profession on the job market. To do this test with the users in the third phase, we followed a clear protocol. We had 2 rooms, one for the VR experience and one for the web experience and the interaction and feedback. We have access at computers to do the platform and the recommendation part, and we used Oculus Rift and MetaQuest 2 for the virtual reality part. This protocol that I've just mentioned used the 5-step procedures. Here on the left side, you can see the GDPR and the consent form, and on the right side, you can see the initial feedback form. Here are some pictures of the participant in the second phase as they filled out the forms and get their recommended career. Before the VR test, each participant received an annex with an information about their career, and we also gave them a quick explanation about how to use the VR equipment. And here are photos from the testing phase, as well as images from the virtual reality environments that we created for each scenario. Here I am testing the project during an interview for a television channel. And we showcased also CareProfSys during the extracurricular activities in university. Last but not least, we have the final phase of the protocol, the final feedback form. And as for results, in over 2 sessions, we had around 15 participants. For each and one of them, we collected the data and then analyzed it. And following the first phase, 95% of the feedback was positive, 85% of the students recognized the importance of the project. And after the second phase, we also got positive feedback, even though we faced some issue with the detection sensor movement. Overall result, as main takeaway, we can bring in front the fact that the people with some VR experience did a little bit better, even though only a few made it to the final level. And another interesting result is that the web scenario for the web developer was the most popular. And this whole process of testing was really important for us to spot the error and fix them. And looking ahead, we want to extend the use of the VR because it's a strong tool for experiential and hands-on learning, and the positive feedback that we got from the user proves how effective it can be. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question, please feel free to send them by email. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your conference.